It's 5:30, so we'll call to order this meeting for Monday, June 26th. Jordan, would you start us off with a roll call, please?
Please respond by stating present. Councilmember Ronayne.
Present.
Boberg.
Present.
Liebelt.
Present.
Reif. Johnson.
Present.
Reinbold.
Present.
Langer.
Present.
Norvstrup. Present. Mayor Schoeneman.
Present. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it's one nation, under U.S. liberty and justice for all.
Next, we will approve this week's agenda. I'm not aware of any changes to be made, so I take a motion to approve as printed.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson and a second from Councilman Reinbold. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we've got our approval of the minutes of our previous meeting, which took place on June 20th. I would take a motion to approve those minutes.
Move to approve.
And I'll take a second on that.
Thank you.
Sounds good. We've got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Does anybody have anything to note on those minutes? All right, then, hearing nothing, I would, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. I didn't see anyone sign up for our open forum. Chief, is there anyone back there that signed up on our open forum sheet? Thank you for checking that for me. We've got 8 items of routine city business to approve with our weekly consent calendar, including event permits, mobile home license, some plating, etc. Someone care to carry that with a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Norvstrup. Anything from the council before we take our vote? All right, then, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Sorry
Aye.
about that, Mayor. I need to abstain on D3.
All right, no problem. So we've got anyone opposed to our consent calendar vote? Let it be shown that we have everyone does, motion does carry. Everyone in consent calendar voting positive with the exception of one, and you said it was Councilman Reinbold, D3?
Correct.
Plating item D3, an extension from Councilman Reinbold. Otherwise, motion does carry. Move along to our new business where we've got a handful of items. First is our public hearing and possible first reading of an ordinance titled 230601, which rezones a property described as Lot 7 in the east half of Block 8, Block 35, second addition to Aberdeen in the northwest quarter of Section 24, which is physically located at 315 6th Avenue Southwest, including which is located 3 houses west of the Palm Garden. It'll be changed from C3R4 Central Business District to R3, which is titled High Density Residential District. I see Brett is not here tonight. Ken is standing in. Ken, what can you tell us about this rezone?
The petitioner is requesting to rezone this property in order to bring the property into a district that is consistent with its existing residential use. The petitioner has requested permission to also operate a temporary homeless shelter at this location, which will be an appeal to the zoning ordinance. The Board of Zoning Adjustment will hear this request at their July 13th, 2023 meeting. Staff have reviewed this petition to rezone and concur with its approval.
I'll move it.
Second.
I've got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Ken, the houses that are adjacent immediately on either side of those, and either side of that house, the 315 6th Avenue Southwest, are those zoned the commercial or are those zoned residential?
Yeah, if you look at the map on page 48 of the packet, it's been a piecemeal process. When major things happen in these residences, they've been requested to rezone at those times. Without rezoning the property, these residences require additional trips to the zoning board every time they want to pull a building permit or change the use of the property. So it's easier to just rezone the properties, when there is no commercial use with the property.
And looking forward to the future, I took a look at those homes and it looks like some of them are not in really great shape. Presuming that perhaps in the future someone will have an interest in tearing them down and adding some commercial business there, that'll be no difficulty to.
No, and it would probably also give them the opportunity at that time to, depending on the location along Sixth Avenue, look at highway commercial or central business or whatever would be more fitting for their uses.
And so in looking at the diagram that you've included, the one just to the left of it appears to be zoned differently. That's one of the ones that's residential currently?
That's one that's come in over the years. So if you look across Sixth Avenue, it's kind of a, jack-o'-lantern where you have residential use, or residential, commercial, residential, commercial.
Thank you, Ken. Does anyone else have a question? Go ahead, Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I noticed that it's, the overview, it's for a temporary homeless shelter. Did they elaborate about that idea?
So the organization is Aberdeen Step Up Ministries. They are affiliated with the church on 8th Avenue Northeast. They had been operating a shelter in the, I guess it would be the former parsonage at that location. And they were hoping to expand to this other house so they could have a separation when they have single men in one or single women, that they don't have to share the same space.
Thanks.
Sounds good. Anything else from our council before we take our vote?
Just one more
Oh, go ahead,
question.
Councilman
Would there be
Johnson.
any limits on occupancy, Ron, or?
With the prior location, we did require them to go through a full building and fire inspection, make any modifications that were required of them. And so far, we haven't had any concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken, for that information. Anyone else on the council have anything further on this topic? And then Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Fauberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Moving along to our second item of new business, we've got a possible approval of a preliminary 2024 promotional fund allocation. And here to tell us a little bit about that is City Manager Joe God. Joe, what have you got?
Thank you, Mary. This is something we do each year. We accept applications for promotions funds in May 1st through the 26th to be exact this year. Then we review them, take a look at them. As is normal, we receive more requests than we have funds. This year we received a request totaling $1,573,500 to be exact, and the budget is 1.25. So we had some cuts to make. The way we do that is we review them, make sure the ones that we're pushing forward are eligible. They were. Then we ask the council members to rank them. We take that ranking, and in your packet you have this summary. We call it the rounded compilation. So we rounded everything up to the nearest 5 or 0, so everybody gets the money, the minimum council recommendation, and that got us to a balance of 1.25. So we're asking that the council approve these recommendations to move forward in the budget document.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second it.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Jordan, how are we looking for our 2023 third penny tax sales funds currently?
Let me pull up an email I compiled, or a report I filed. Just a second, Mayor. Collections have been pretty strong. We're slightly behind where we were last year, but I believe we're ahead of budget. My apologies, I didn't have that ready.
So assuming that numbers remain relatively consistent with what they are this year, you don't see any issues with 2024 pulling in about $1.25 million.
I'm comfortable with that number.
And it wouldn't be a substantial increase over what we're doing year over year.
That would be right in line with what my projections would be.
All right, any other questions or comments for our promotions fund here? All right, then we've got our motion, we've got our second. Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote on this one, please?
Councilmember Norvstrup,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye, except for the Northern State University allocation.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got our possible approval to enter into a technical services agreement with H.R. Green, who provides consulting engineering services at the water treatment plant. City Manager Joe Gah will explain a little bit about that agreement.
Yes, this is a similar agreement we've had for the past few years. They've done quite a bit of work for us. And this is just kind of to keep them on retainer during the year to work on some projects. Here in the next few meetings, you'll be seeing some recommendations on moving forward with some electrical improvements that they've been working on. We've been doing in a staggered approach over the last few years, and H.R. Green has started that work for us, and we'd like them to continue. So staff recommends approval.
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Johnson. And so have we been seeing additional work from these guys? I know that Bob had made mention of, some of the contract hours that had been currently ongoing at the plant. Are these guys working on anything at this time?
Not right now.
Okay.
They're getting some bidding things ready for us. And there was a project, now that I say that, earlier this year, they helped put together some specs for a project.
Thank you, Joe. Any other questions from the council? All right, then, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion does carry. We'll move along to our possible approval of our surplus for a retired officer, Angela Singer, and her service pistol. Chief McNeil is here to tell us a little bit about that surplus item. Welcome, Chief.
Yeah, good evening. So we're asking for your consideration to surplus the duty weapon that was issued to Officer Singer, who recently retired from the police department with 24 years. The officers' labor union has agreed to offset the cost of that and reimburse the city for the cost of the firearm.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Liebelt and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Anyone have anything to state or any questions on this one? So just so I'm clear, then, does she get to keep that thing?
Yeah, so she would get to keep that. So with your approval with this, then it would go to a licensed firearms dealer, and she would have to do the background check and go through that process, but then she would be the ultimate possessor or owner of that firearm.
Great. I think that's a wonderful idea, Chief.
Thank you.
We've got no other questions from the council. I will say all in favor, please say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Next, we've got our possible approval to appoint Taylor Armstrong to the Parks, Rec, and Forestry Board effective on July 1st. And as you all noticed, his letter of request was included in this week's packet. So if someone were interested, they could make a motion on this.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Johnson. Anyone have any words? All right, then all in favor, please say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Next, we've got our possible approval of our 2023 passenger facility charge application to the Federal Aviation Administration. And here to tell us about that is our Transportation Director, Rich Krokel. Rich, $4.50, it looks like.
Yep, that's all we get to collect. Should be a lot more, but. So PFC is passenger facility charge, and that money is set aside by the FAA, and that goes back into projects and other things that we need at the airport. The date on this got bumped out a little bit based on our enplanements, which have been down. But the estimated revenue to be collected is $702,318. So we're asking for approval on this.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Krokel as it relates to this agreement? All right, then, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thanks for joining us, Rich. Quick and easy tonight for you. Finally, item of our new business, we've got a presentation for our Aberdeen Downtown Association, their quarterly update, and here to present that is the new director, Alexa Sheldon. Alexa, I don't know that we've seen you here before.
Yes, I've gotten to speak with most of you, I think, but some not. So thank you for having me, and it's nice to see some of you for the first time. So being new in my role, I'm learning very quickly that this is a rewarding but tough job, and I can also see the reflection of that in what you all do. So I want to thank you for serving the city in your role, whether it's staff or council member. I know it can be tough and you have some difficult decisions to make, so I appreciate what you do for us here at the city. Out of respect for your time, I will keep this high level and short. The next time we meet, I will have more granular information for you, but for now I just would like to touch base on what we've been working on since I started in December. In your packet that you have, we'll turn to the first page. The Aberdeen Downtown Association is a 501c6 nonprofit organization devoted to creating an inviting downtown district in Aberdeen, South Dakota. We serve as a mechanism to implement district-wide marketing programs, events, and projects for the benefit of all the businesses within it. On the next page, you will find the list of our board members as well as the executive board. If you can give a little wave if you're here, that would be great. We have Kelly Shoneman, who is our president, Olaf Hansen, who is the vice president, Victoria Lusk, who is our secretary, Patricia Kendall, who is the treasurer, Spencer Summers, who's past president, Joe Melhoff, Lee Kessler, Mike Moulton, Molly Gensler, Sam Shoneman, Sarah Eisenbeis, and Scott Peterson. For staff, we have myself, Alexa. I'm the executive director as of December of this past year. Meg White is a new hire in the last few weeks. We are so excited to have her. She's a former business owner downtown, and she comes with great graphic design and event experience to help us uplift our efforts. We also have Ryan Blair, who helps us with street cleanup part-time. He does a great job, and if you've seen him in his yellow or orange shirt downtown, he's a pretty nice guy. He's a little shy, but he really helps us out with cleanup downtown. For our 2023 projects and responsibilities, on the next page, you'll probably recognize some of these projects from past years, but I'm happy to report the momentum we have on these projects that may have been sitting for a year or a couple of years. We have a really great board this year and staff who we've been working hard together with to get some momentum and set some goals that are measurable for all of us to see and hopefully appreciate over the next year. To run through the list, we do manage the downtown Bid 1 funding. We do our downtown events, art and sculpture landmark projects, downtown community dog park, two-way main advocacy, Start Hub project and grant, small business membership perks, and downtown Aberdeen lifestyle marketing. We'll just cover each of those briefly here on the next few pages. For the downtown Bid 1 stewardship this year, we started out with a snowstorm in my first month in December. So we kicked off right away, helping with breaking up some ice in the fronts of our business storefronts so folks could walk downtown safely and have more accessibility. In the spring, we upgraded our plants, mulch, and fertilization in the floral plots and beds for 2023. It sounds like we haven't done that for a few years, so it was much needed and hopefully looking better for everyone this year with more to come in coming years. We are working on colorful new lifestyle banners for lampposts that are in progress. We're hoping to see those in the next few weeks. We have metalwork repairs and removal of plant bed fencing that will be coming up soon. Just trying to fix some of the rusted metalwork or things that need to be updated or removed. We are procuring new downtown benches and bike racks for 2023. That's in motion, and I've been working with Joe on the plan for removal and when we execute that. So we're really excited to see some fresh product downtown. And lastly, we have formed a downtown garden club to help cut costs and labor for floral maintenance via volunteer gardeners. We are meeting this next week, and we have people of all ages helping out, lots of folks excited, and we hope it's a great meetup for some new citizens to town who want to make friends and get involved with volunteering. On the next page to cover our core downtown events, we switched our wine walk to spring this year, which was a huge success. We have our summer concert series 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, 1 was canceled this past week with the rain, but we are looking at rescheduling in September, which I think will be something we might want to consider for the future with the students coming back to NSU. That might be fun to have another concert in September. Of course, we have the Sizzlin' Summer Nights Car Show, our largest event downtown that garners 8,000 to 10,000 plus people every year. I am working on a brew walk, which we're looking at for October, to mimic our wine walk but catch a different demographic. Stay Local Day is something that is a refresh of what you might know as Crazy Days or Downtown Days. We're working on that as we speak over the next few months. Trick or Treat on Main, which is always fun, and I'm sure you've seen the kids downtown with their costumes. We're working on some installations there. And Mistletoe on Main, which is bringing Santa and Mrs. Claus downtown for kids to meet and have photos with. On the next page, art and sculpture landmarks. Something that we're really excited about is striking an agreement with the city. Actually, a few meetings ago here, thank you for approving that. We have been working on the first sculpture installation downtown on our pedestals. It's actually a sculpture by an artist in Sioux Falls named Steve Bormas, and it was designed to honor a young boy who's had a long battle with cancer but is in remission and healthy now. I think it's a really great first sculpture to represent Aberdeen and downtown. We are working on an artist reception event and pop-up gallery sometime in mid-July, so that's something I'll be reaching out to the city staff about to touch base on and make sure we're following the rules. But we're really excited for this and hope it's the first of many. On the next page, we're covering the Downtown Community Dog Park. I know this is something that we've wanted for many years here, and I did set the lofty goal that hopefully we can have some land secured by the end of 2023. We'll see if it happens, but we're working really hard. We've created a committee to progress that effort and make sure that we can hit that goal. Right now, we're actively approaching landowners and city partners to secure property. Again, the goal is by the end of the year. And we are already managing a list of interested private large-scale sponsors. We have 10 plus who are interested and aware of the scope of the project and are interested in funding. We think this will be a potential community space and will boost surrounding businesses and the downtown district as a whole, as a place to live, work, and shop. Another effort we've been working on for a few years that you may recognize is the two-way main advocacy. This is a current topic, I know, with you. We created a two-way main committee to assess the Aberdeen HDR study and engage with experts, gauge stakeholder interest, and support this effort to help increase traffic passing through for business growth and visibility, plus pedestrian and shopper safety. If we can play the video, that would be great. This is someone who is formerly from Aberdeen, and she reached out to us to talk more about her interest in the two-way main project.
Hi, my name is Grace Douglas. I'm 23 years old, born and raised in Aberdeen, and my family lives there. And today I want to talk with you about why I'm in favor of turning Main Street into a two-way street. So I recently developed this interest in urban planning, weirdly enough, and I'm interested in getting a graduate degree on the subject and started reading some books. And one of the books that I read was Jeff Speck's Walkable City. And this is a guy who's worked with dozens of mayors across the country to help them revitalize their downtowns. One thing that he started talking about was the importance and all the benefits of converting downtown one-ways into two-way streets. And as I was reading this, I immediately thought of Main Street in Aberdeen, right? And was wondering, how can we make this happen? So I got on Google and started researching and came across, coincidentally, this awesome proposal by the Downtown Association to do just that. So when I saw that, I knew, I was like, I have to get involved and kind of voice my support of it because it is something that is really important to me. So I think that when it comes to the benefits, highlighting those benefits, the HDR study is really good, and it concludes that the Aberdeen downtown area will have a projected 750 more cars coming through the downtown per day. And what that essentially means is more profit for those downtown business owners, right? And it also means more people getting downtown, right? More people out in the Aberdeen community. So I think that's really important. I think especially about like those north side people, right? It's more difficult for them to come downtown. And so I think that that will really increase access for, you know, the other half of Aberdeen, if you will. Another experience that I've had with this was when I was going to college in Sioux Falls. The downtown of Sioux Falls is kind of a mix of one-ways and two-ways. And if you've ever been to downtown Sioux Falls, then you know that the most popular street is Phillips Avenue, a two-way street, right? I don't think the other one-ways in Sioux Falls come close to Phillips in terms of all of the people walking around, shopping downtown in Phillips Avenue. There really is a distinctive difference. I also found that the traffic is not really bad on Phillips. I actually find Phillips preferable because it's way easier for me as a driver to navigate. Those two-way streets are easier for drivers to be able to figure out versus the other parts of Sioux Falls downtown where I feel like I'm navigating these one-ways and trying to find the correct one-way. So I found that Phillips has just been easier and more lively a place, and that's why it's kind of like the heart of downtown Sioux Falls. So to kind of summarize these benefits, two-way streets in the downtown are safer for pedestrians, they're easier for drivers to understand, and they generate more business for downtown shops and restaurants. So overall, it's a win-win scenario, and I think that it's worth the investment for those long-term benefits that the city will gain. So I really hope that the City Council will take up this project and that we'll see a more thriving downtown in the near future. Thank you.
All right, thank you for playing that video for us. We were so excited when Grace reached out to get involved, so she wanted to provide that. We also have spoken with Lisa Glover of Corey and USDA. She's a placemaker fellow, and she also provided a video for us that we will be uploading to our website, but we'll keep moving. One of the other efforts that I inherited in the role was the group Start Hub. It's an entrepreneurial meetup group. This year, we assessed the group and thought about what can we do to give back that would be beneficial to entrepreneurs and small businesses. So right now we're working on an entrepreneur resource directory as well as a grant project event that we will be using with our $6,000 grant. Currently, you can see on the bottom left-hand page of the Start Hub page, that's an example of the directory that we are working on right now. Basically, we're dropping in nonprofit resources that are exclusive to Aberdeen only, and we hope to publish that on all of our nonprofit websites. We hope that this reaches people in the community who are interested in starting a business or have a small business and are not aware of the great resources we have here. For the grant project, we are working right now as a group to decide what to do, but right now we're leaning towards funding some in-house help for some of our small businesses, actually in the entirety of Aberdeen, who might need some consulting. So we'll be reaching out to some local groups to hopefully help us in that effort here in the fall. On the next page, I'll touch on our small business membership perks. This is something that we redesigned for 2023. We have a new membership and sponsorship menu, which I included with your packet. We wanted to provide measurable benefits and value for our members. So we removed the discount program that asked members to give up profit, which created staffing issues and complicated POS system discounting. And instead, we have added small business social media consulting to sit down with small businesses one-on-one to help with social media or store merchandising tips. I hoped that this would be more valuable to our small businesses than asking them to give up discounts to people who visit their store. For 2024, I am using our Placer AI tool to build a custom retail report per small business that they can hopefully use to gauge when is a good time to market, to whom, when is a good day to have an event based on the traffic to their business. On the next page, you'll find touching on the marketing goal with promotional funds. What is our marketing goal with promotional funds? How is it different from other promotional entities working with the City of Aberdeen? Our strategy is to focus on Aberdeen downtown specifically and create a unique voice to look, sound, and feel modern, laid back, and inviting. Aberdeen downtown identity is style, art, shopping, cool, historical, evolving, creative. Every project and focus we have should lead back to our goal of inspiring people to shop, work, live, and experience Aberdeen downtown. Our demographic focus is to inspire young people to graduate and stay in Aberdeen by marketing urban amenities and walkability, as well as attracting retirees to downsize into high-end downtown condo and loft buildings for convenience. On the next page, Downtown Aberdeen Lifestyle Marketing, you'll find some of the partnerships and collaborations we're working on for this year. This week, actually, we are working with 605 Meg to do a collaboration regarding Aberdeen downtown businesses. We're working with South Dakota Public Broadcasting Magazine to be a placeholder for 2024. Their spots are full for 2023, but we are earmarked to be included in an issue in 2024. Our social media focus is ongoing and has proven to be very effective with reaching folks for news and events and more. We're working with food and drink influencers, and we do have a local collaboration in progress for summer 2023. I would like to provide more professional content creation. I'm interested in video and digital ad, which we have in progress with different videographers and drone operators. Event content we have in progress. Meg has really been a major help after joining our staff with their graphic design efforts and help. And we also hope to focus on downtown architecture and lifestyle. What makes Aberdeen different from other cities in South Dakota? On the next page, why is this organization important to maintain and grow? These projects and responsibilities need to be prioritized and improved now, not diluted. The Aberdeen Downtown Association is evolving an increasing focus on downtown beautification, art, and community-focused projects. The attractiveness of Aberdeen's livability, workability, amenities, and perception of culture relies heavily on the progress of our downtown. It boosts economy, tourism, population growth, and financial and emotional investment in the future of Aberdeen. On the next page, you'll find operational changes. I will send that home with you. Please take a look. There's quite a bit there. But we have made a lot of financial and operational changes since I started in 2023. Every project we're working on, our goal has been to either spend the same or less. So we've been saving quite a bit of money, and I'm really happy to share that with you here on this page. Please feel free to take a look at that when you take this home. I want to thank you for listening, supporting, and partnering with us. I appreciate all of the support I've gotten since I've started in this role. It makes me so excited to continue and see what we can get done for Aberdeen in the next few years. The momentum is there, and your help has been so wonderful. So thank you so much. We're excited to catalyze a new era for downtown Aberdeen. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions, or let me know now if you have any questions. I'm happy to chat, meet, or talk more. Thank you.
We're excited to have you as part of the team, Alexis. Appreciate you being here today. Does anyone on the council have any talking points or questions for her? You kept right to the script. You had mentioned Placer AI was one of the things that you were going to utilize as a perk. For those of us that don't know what that consists of, could you kind of outline what that does?
Placer AI is a program that helps us gauge the number of people in downtown Aberdeen at any given time. It uses cell phone data to track how many people are in one place. It is anonymous, so we don't know who is there, but we know how many people are there, and usually we can tell where they came from as well. So that really helps us with marketing, advertising, digital marketing, targeting. I've been using it in my social media advertising. I've been selecting cities in our region where we have seen patterns of people coming to our events in the past.
Sounds exciting. Glad to see that you're utilizing all these different tools and look forward to what you're able to do. Can't wait to see you in a few months' time. Anyone else from the council have anything? Well, Alexa, thank you very much for joining us here, and the rest of you from the board.
Thank you so much.
We will move along to our review and approval of our claims and payroll. First of all, we've got our bills for this week, June 26th. Our payroll covers the pay period of June 18th through July 1st. Can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Liebelt and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote on this one, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
I'll abstain on the payment to House of Glass, otherwise aye, and the motion does carry. We'll move along to our city manager's report. Joe, what have you got for us this evening?
An update on an item we discussed last week at the council meeting, that Robin and his staff were getting ready to take take two, I guess, on a water main project that when they started the week before, they found some difficulties and they spent the week resolving those. That was hard work paid off. They did do the project last Wednesday and everything went off, I almost want to say without a hitch, until about the last, what was supposed to be 2 hours, and then that became 5. But we still had water throughout the city, and that worked out well. So good update there. And then I'll give you the June milestones. We have 7 employees that met their employee milestone, 4 or 5 years, and then 1 at 10, 1 at 15, and 1 at 20. So specifically with our 5 years, Kyle Stoddard in the fire department, Jill Moore in HR, Mike Milkey here in building maintenance, and Jordan Rohrbach in the street department. And then with those were all 5 years. With 10 years, Dan Waldman in engineering. With 15 years, Mark Miller in the PD. And with 20 years, J.R. Hubner in the fire department. So again, congratulations to all those employees. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you to you employees that were listed. Appreciate your long-standing tenure with the city and all the work that you do for us here. Does anyone on the council have anything to include before we take our vote to adjourn this meeting? All right, then I would take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion, Councilman Johnson, second, Councilwoman Liebelt. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion does carry. We are adjourned.